coastal marsh may seem tranquil to some, but Dr. Richard Mayer sees a field of battle. He's a frontline soldier in a biological war, the fight against disease-carrying organisms called vectors.
Vectors are animals or organisms that carry diseases to another organism. They act as a method of transfer of a disease agent from one organism to another. When we look at vectors worldwide, mosquitoes have to be considered perhaps the most dangerous for the fact that on an annual basis, nearly 2 million people, mostly children, in Asia and Africa, die from malaria transmitted by the Anopheline mosquito.
Once easily controlled through the use of pesticides, the pesky mosquito and many other disease vectors have developed a resistance to these chemical weapons. This is the primary concern of vector control scientist Dr. James Webb.
History has shown that almost all chemicals that have been used on target populations develop resistant forms in those populations to that chemical. It may just take a matter of a number of years. It can be very quick.
Insecticide resistance offers one of the most striking examples of evolution in action. Resistant populations can survive doses of pesticide that would have devastated previous generations. Dr. George Georgiou, one of the world's foremost experts on the subject, hopes to uncover the exact cause of this evolutionary change.
The resistance is based on genes which provide the insect with the ability to survive in the presence of the insecticide.
Dr. Georgiou has discovered that one of these resistant genes produces a special enzyme which deactivates certain pesticides. By measuring changes in the frequency of such genes over time, scientists can track the evolution of mosquito populations. The sum total of all genes in a given population is called its gene pool. Genes often exist in different alleles, which are responsible for the different expressions of a given trait, such as eye color. The proportion of the total gene pool represented by any single allele is called the allele frequency, or simply the gene frequency. Without any evolutionary forces at work, gene frequencies remain constant, maintaining a genetic equilibrium.
In the absence of any disturbing forces, we expect gene frequencies to remain constant in time, no evolution.
Yet, in his study of mosquito populations, Dr. Taylor has documented that gene frequencies are changing, sometimes within 8 to 12 generations. Different forces can cause this type of evolutionary change, including mutation, natural selection, gene flow, and genetic drift. In the case of mosquitoes, scientists believe a mutation introduced the resistant gene into the population, which was then amplified through natural selection.
With insecticide resistance, we're finding selection absolutely unparalleled in the natural world. As a result, we're seeing much bigger changes in gene frequency and much bigger changes in genome reorganization.
While mutation may introduce a resistant gene, another force must be active to ensure a change in gene frequency. In the Battle of the Marsh, the pesticide itself acts as an agent of selection, favoring the survival and reproduction of resistant mosquitoes.